want to do? You want somebody to move? You just do that.
Woohoo! 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 Woohoo!
Time to get my strawberries on.
In the back. Don't push that button back there. Alright. In the back. Don't push that button back there. Alright.
Why so serious? This is the most favorite moment of my life.
It's so cat, bro.
This is awesome.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, and in today's video we are going to talk about the bus rodeo. And today is Friday, and Fridays are awesome! Fridays are awesome no matter what! Okay, a little bit reassurance. This is actually on a Thursday that I'm filming this today, because you guys are going to see this Friday. Well, no, you guys are going to see this Saturday, right? Or no. Yeah, you're going to be seeing this Saturday. Or just whatever. Saturday, Friday, most likely Saturday. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the bus rodeo and everything that transpired on that day. And this is also a Roblox video as well. So there's going to be two portions, the Roblox video one and the other video you guys will be seeing as well. So this is primarily focused around bus rodeo, the story of it all. Let's go and let's start the story. So, starting this off, and by the way, I am standing up because I flipped my room around and I don't have a desk set, so I kind of have to stand and do these videos, kind of like the old days. So yeah, so what exactly is going on with this bus rodeo? How did it start? What does it mean? Where did it all start originally? So let's backtrack to 2014. So I had moved to Virginia Beach in 2014 in the spring. I only did one 9 weeks, one marking period in the in that one middle school I went to. Then I went to another middle school, and that's where I finished out middle school. Well, we had a bit of bus dilemma. So the buses there, they have plenty of buses, just not enough drivers. What they're really hurting for is for substitute drivers. Because if a bus driver is out, it's like a domino effect for every single driver at a specific school, because that driver has to cover for another bus, then that driver has to cover for another bus, then they have to double up and take 2 loads at once, and it can be pretty havoc. Well, we had tons of issues. So this all started in right after Thanksgiving. The bus driver I had, she went into it was Thanksgiving, and during the break, her toe was broken. So she could not drive. So when we got back to school, they had a bus that was late every single day, because they had to go and drop off one load, then go back and pick up a second load. And they were late every single day. And this happened for at least a few weeks. Well, then what happened this one day is we had this substitute bus driver. And she was a little old lady, and she messed up. Because what this little old lady does is she would drive over the double solid instead of being in the lane. Now, driving a bus, truck, whatever on a country road can be a bit difficult, but she would always drive over the double solid. And so whenever a truck or another bus come by, it was looking pretty scary. And one day, it happened. So here's what happened. The bus, we were on a road that had dotted lines for both directions, means you can pass from both directions. Well, she was over that line and was in the oncoming lane the whole entire time. Well, then this other bus comes by. They pass each other, right? And they hit the mirror off the bus. The mirrors hit. The mirrors are broken. The mirror broke on our bus. The mirror on the other bus didn't break. And the mirror broke. So the bus driver immediately stopped. And it was a whole hectic situation. And the other bus didn't stop, because I don't know if maybe the driver didn't notice, or maybe they just didn't notice it. But after the mirror was hit, there was a scream that I heard. And so the bus driver stops. She tries to go on the radio, but she had no luck for some reason. I guess she had to call them. And she didn't have a cell phone. So she had to borrow a student's cell phone to call them what had happened. So what happened was a couple people came by, and there's this girl, her name's Maddie. She was actually sitting behind the driver, and I think she was the one that screamed. And her father or stepfather pulls up in his Toyota Sequoia, and they talk, and he goes. So there's nothing he can do. So after that happened, so after that happened, we sit on the road for like 30 to 40 minutes, a long time. And we're just sitting in the middle of the road. She couldn't pull off because there was a ditch right there, so they had to just so we just kind of had to sit there in the middle of the road. And so eventually they sent an accident investigation guy out, and there was just a regular truck with a light bar on top. So he pulls up, and he pulls up to the car, to the bus, and he directed the bus driver to pull into the church down the road. So they go, she pulls in the church, and she stops. Short while later, another bus comes, and we are removed from the other bus, go on the second one, and then that bus took us to school. So that bus took us to school, and we had to go in and get a pass. So I went up to my teacher, and I'm like, "Oh my God, my bus got into an accident." And she's like, "Okay, go to your first resource." And my teacher, my English teacher, she was a bit of a Karen, I'd say. But she certainly had a mom Karen instinct in her. But yeah, so we came up, talked to her, I told her what happened, and so she just sat me on the way to class. Yeah, so that was that. So for the rest of the day, I just went and stayed at the class, and I had to stay after school. And if I had not have stayed after school, then I'd be getting a lecture from a man who looked like a professor, a college professor, talked like a college professor, and I was going to get a lecture. And it was going to be a crap show, basically. So later that night, I told my mom about what happened. My mom called the school district, and there's more. So she called the school district she first called the school, then they gave them the number to call the district. They called the district. My mom was very firm over the phone because this was ridiculous. To have that much issues and being late and then get into an accident, not be informed, like that's a serious miscommunication there. And the school was supposed to call the parents to let them know that, hey, this had happened today, but they didn't. So instead, they just called them up. So then the guy, his name is Mr. Wise, I forget his first name. I think it was like Joseph or something. I don't know. I just know his name was Mr. Wise. He had a mustache, older man, and you guys are going to see him in the video. So anyway, so he called my mom saying, being very apologetic. Well, then my mom told him about my interest in school buses. And so he was like, okay, so, there's more to that story I'm going to tell you in just a sec. Well, then what happened was after that Now there are some more details on that accident that I have learned. About a couple years later, they said that the driver's side window shattered. That was not true. That happened to another bus, and it happened to my high school bus driver. Whoa! Oh, you guys missed it. So the same thing happened to my high school bus driver, and he ended in, because what happened was his mirror was broken off, but the window also broke. And there was glass all the way about 5 rows back. So if the window on that bus broke, I would have gotten hit with glass. Everybody sitting up in the front would have been hit with glass. I would have been hit with glass. Everybody would have been hit with glass. And it probably would have been a lot more worse than it was. Now, not to mention, the bus driver was wearing a hood. And I don't know if maybe that kind of caused it. I don't know what. But, either way, it basically caused it. And, the window broke the window, glass was everywhere, all over, my high school bus driver. But the thing about it is, had that happened on my middle school bus, I would have been hit with glass because I was only sitting about maybe 4 rows from the front. And yeah, so it would have been a lot worse than you would think. So yeah, so that was that. But then that driver ended up getting removed from that route because she had to drive across the city just to get to where we were at. And yeah, it was quite the cluster. Anyway, let's go and move on to the rodeo. So then the guy, Mr. Wise, calls back my mom saying, "Hey, well, I talked to my boss and we'd like to make Tristan an honorary judge for for our school bus rodeo that's coming up." And so she's like, "Yeah, we'll definitely do it." So they went to the bus rodeo. So we go to the bus rodeo, right? And so we pull up. It's at this elementary school. And we pull up. And there he is, Mr. Wise. So Mr. Wise said, Mr. Wise, he greeted us, gave a little tour of the buses, that type of stuff. Well, the thing about these bus rodeos, they hold these bus rodeos yearly, and they have where these bus drivers that work for the local district, they can perform their skills test. And so, yeah, so we had seen all that. Now, not to mention, they also had a journalist go there. Not a journalist, but a photographer who worked for a school news media. It wasn't the national news, but it was a news media for schools. You know what I mean? So they're like, okay, well, she wanted to take pictures and quote things, and that's what they did. And so they made quotes and things like that, and they took a lot of pictures. And because the thing is, this lady had a lot. Her name was Amy, and she reminds me a lot of my aunt on my dad's side, because I just don't know. I mean, you know, it's very, you know, you meet a lot of interesting people. So, yeah. So, so going forth, throughout the day, we did this one test with the tennis balls, where they had to actually maneuver their tires in between the tennis balls, and they actually even had to even try to maneuver a tennis ball in between both rear axles. Because as you know, on those straight truck chassis and on buses, school buses rather, they have two axles in the back, two tires. And so they had to actually maneuver it through those two tennis balls. And it was crazy for them to do that. And it was crazy for them to do that, because that was just crazy. So they did multiple things like road crossing stops and some other little training stuff they've done over the years, and that kind of stuff. Backing, things like backing. And like, you would be on the bus, right? And you would actually feel the bus actually hit the traffic cones. Because as the bus is reversing, you can actually feel the bus hitting the traffic cones. You just feel like a little shake, like a little vibration. And that just shows you that, hey, you know, this is legit. And it was very challenging for the bus drivers to do this. And it is kind of a bit scary when you think about it, because they could not use their overhead mirror to, they could not use the overhead mirror to reverse into these little spots, these little demonstrational areas. And so they had to rely on both mirrors on both sides to ensure that they were able to fully reverse into those spots. So then what happened is after that, they reversed into the spot. You know, they pull into the spots, and they basically reverse into the spot, right? They park the bus, and then they would do a skills test. And so they basically were like, you know, we're not even going to worry about it. We backed in. We got it done. Dumbass. And yeah, so I rode around with the substitute bus driver coordinator, Mr. Sprouse. Mr. Sprouse, which I do believe still works there, he still works there, I think. And but the transportation guy, Mr. Cottis, he retired. So now it's David Pace who now runs it now. So David Pace now runs it. And so he runs it now. But yeah, I mean, that's how it was, and I was recognized for it. Now, I don't know what happened to the bus rodeo shirt. I think I still have it. It's somewhere, but it doesn't fit me anymore because I was like, what, That was in 2015. So I was about 14 years old when I did it. Now you're thinking, well, well, Tristan, why didn't you go back and do another rodeo? Well, I mean, I would definitely have done it, and I probably would have been more mature. But I mean, you know, it all happened like so fast. I wasn't even thinking on the things I should try, and it just happened so fast. And this was before I got braces, so in the pictures, you know, I do kind of look like I got, like my braces, like my teeth are all crooked and stuff. That was before the days of braces. So, yeah. So that's what happened. And it was some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So let me go and set up the scenery that you guys are going to see in the next pictures and clips. So, you know, let's just say the guy with the glasses, guys see, he was being a bit goofy with the camera and was making all these silly pictures and whatnot. So he was being all goofy with the camera and was like doing all these things, and you know, you guys will actually, now he actually had a copy of that video, and because he isn't all that tech savvy, he couldn't email it to me or put it on the flash drive and give it to me. And I don't know if he probably still has it. He probably still does, but who knows. And if I were to get that video, I might be able to show you guys. Now there's also a second video that my mom had on her phone, which was the pictures and things like that. Those were pictures and things like that you saw and all that type of stuff. They were pictures. They were everything. All those pictures were there. And, you know, she had actually a video showing a different angle from what you guys see up in the bus cameras. Now, those bus cameras, I don't know if they were glitchy or what, but the bus cameras don't actually catch everything that happened because they have a camera in the front that faces straight down to the back of the bus. They have a camera from the back of the bus that shoots all the way up to the front of the bus. Then they have a camera that's on the side that shoots to the door. Then they have another, and then that's all the cameras they have. And the cameras couldn't catch it all. And actually there were some parts where the audio cut out because of the design of the camera, because of the cameras. Now that bus is a 2009 Bluebird Vision. So you might be thinking, well, Tristan, why didn't they give you a 2012 Bluebird Vision? Well, guys, I have no idea why. I mean, I kind of would have liked the 2012 Vision better because it's more modern than the Bluebird and a lot more quieter than the Bluebird. Because the Bluebird that I was on had a Caterpillar C7, and it has that typical loud diesel engine sound. So it's not like it would sound like a Cummins engine is, where it sounds like a washing machine. But I mean, you know, that's just not what they gave me. I mean, I kind of would have wished they gave me a Bluebird bus instead. Well, it was a Bluebird, but a 2012 Bluebird because it was more modern, but you know, whatever. We got inside of the Bluebird. It's fine. Now here's the irony. I actually rode that same Bluebird later down in my high school year into my senior year. And so that was kind of, you know, good memories once again. But yeah, I mean, it's that, you know, we got to experience it, and that was that. Now, at one point in the video, I actually, after they showed me how to do child check button and all that, I actually went and turned the bus battery back on and activated the yellow lights and activated the warning lights, of course. And what happened is after I let him out, I shut the lights off, then I turned the battery back off, and then when I went to go turn the bus back on to try some other features, the alarm went off. Because for those who don't know, when a school bus activates their emergency lights, okay, and the reds come on, well then the driver shuts the lights off, parks the bus, turns the bus off. They have to go and hit a button in the back that will deactivate the warning, that will deactivate the alarm. And if that alarm is not deactivated, then the bus alarm is going to go off. Now with that type of bus, it did not go off automatically, but you did have to manually set it off, which in my Roblox of the day, I'm going to explain on how that works. But yeah, so when the bus is off, you have to hit that back button, or else the bus simply will not allow you to start the bus, and the alarm will go. They did an honorary, like where they did the awards, and it was me and some other, it was two other drivers. Yeah, it was 3 other drivers that won, that got the, it was 3 other drivers that won, first, second, and third, because I was the honorary member. I was in the photo. And so I was in the photo, and the guy that you see all the way to the left, he actually was the winner, the #1 winner, and you could tell that in the photo that he was crying, and he was crying because he had given because he knew somebody that had died or something, and he was, passing on the memory, and he was crying. And some other people in the background had also cried as well, you can also tell. But yeah, so, and so I got my award, and, I was in the news for the schools, and that's how I became. Now, I actually influenced other people to do the same, because I wasn't the only bus enthusiast in Virginia Beach. There were a few other people actually. So as you guys might know, there was this one YouTuber whose name was Basnerd 9000, and he would actually take his phone, plop it right on the seat, and would just film the whole entire time, the whole entire bus ride. And I'm like, well, isn't he kind of making himself out there, like he's making himself, like he's kind of embarrassing himself? Because, I mean, if I were to have my phone up like this, sitting up like that, you think people would notice? Yeah, and there were some people that did notice. So he would go and film on the buses, and he actually, in the Bus Nerd 9000 channel, he had taken down, which I'm actually kind of bummed. I kind of wish he saved them all, but he probably didn't have a computer that he could download all the videos to, like I can, and then re-upload them later on. But he just couldn't do it, so he deleted it. It's gone. And so now he started a new channel, and he's working his way up. There were also some other people that did the same thing as well. So yeah, so Virginia Beach is not shy, and nor is the bus community. I mean, I have affiliations with the bus community through Roblox, through this video, because, you know, it's the way it is. I mean, I can tell you, everything on YouTube, there is not one thing on YouTube that somebody is not an enthusiast about, or is a fanboy, or is a fan. I mean, everything you see around you, at least somebody is an enthusiast over it. And it's just that every little detail that matters. And that there is just where it's just pretty impressive. So you might be asking yourself, well, Tristan, how was the overall experience? Now, the photographer, Amy, she said that she expects me to work there in like a few years or so. And so, in like a few years or so. Well, unfortunately, you know, the thing with the bus drivers down there is that they are underpaid. And it has something to do with their political ways of how they do it down there, because basically the money they make goes to their health care. And you see it on the news. There are bus drivers that say they don't even have enough money to bring them a full load of groceries a week. So who wants to work that kind of low income? I mean, that's even lower than minimum wage. You know, I mean, they are way underpaid. And, you know, and I think it has something to do with that particular district, or maybe the whole state of Virginia, I don't know. But basically the money they make, it goes to their health care, and whatever they have left, they don't even have enough money to be able to afford to work that job daily. So, you know, I mean, who wants to be underpaid and not get enough payment to be able to work in a district where you literally don't get enough money to bring home full load of groceries each day? I mean, who wants that stuff? And plus, you know, I don't have my CDL, and second of all, we don't live in VB anymore, so that's why I am not going to be working at that particular district. Now, of course, would I be a school bus driver in the future? Maybe, but as with COVID and all this other stuff that's going on, I mean, it's not a good environment right now to be in. So yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. You know, this is going to be a very short video. Now, by the way, I'm not ending the video. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some Roblox clips here in a sec. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching. For those who came here to watch the main part, which is the bus rodeo video. I'm going to go ahead and roll those clips, and we are going to see you in another video. And if you're new to this channel, please make sure that you like, that you guys comment, that you guys subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're trying to get up to 350 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button and do the best that you can to get these videos out. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. See ya. Alright, my Roblox people. Let's go, let's move along.
paper now.
In the back. Don't push that button back there. All right, so hang that one. I'm going to call you on the two-way radio. All right? Now, here's what I want you to do. I'm shutting this real quick. This button opens and closes the door, so push it down where it says open. No, other way. Go down. Oh, good. When I get off, close the door. I'm going to call you on the two-way radio, okay? Just like in the morning. See if you recognize my voice on the radio. That's you. Okay. Okay. This is bus 385.
385, just letting you know, you've got people outside your door.
I'm on the bus. Okay.
Way to go.
Good job!
There you go. All right.
You letting your mom on board?
Get on the bus, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Bus Driver.
Take a seat wherever you want.
Oh, you're doing good.
You ready?
All right.
385.
285.
Oh, you gotta wait for the chirp, honey. Press the button.
Yeah,
Wait,
now,
wait,
all right,
now
now talk.
speak.
285.
Have you cut yourself off?
Yeah, you have to.
You have to wait for the chirp.
Yeah.
Now
285.
Having problems with the students. 385, are you having problems with the students on your bus?
Yes, I'm having some problems.
Listen for the chirp.
Okay, push it, hold, and wait for the finger.
There you go.
I'm having problems.
Do you need police assistance? I have you at Burnett Elementary. I will send police assistance.
Alright, wait for dispatch. Now say it.
Now say it.
Alright, awaiting dispatch.
Way to go. You did that so well.
Young lady, I know what you're doing.
Hey, bus driver.
What? Okay.
What you doing, Trev? You having fun?
It's not having a burn. No, it's not. It's not. You, another
Don't
spot.
turn it on.
Sure. No, I'm trying to get the soda.
Trev.
Oh, it's Yeah, hang on. Yeah, and then, okay, go ahead. We'll let you, let me figure out what we did here.
Oh, you
Because you got your key in.
It's in reverse.
It is in neutral.
That's a backup button.
You broke it.
Unless I have to go and hit this back one.
This is awesome. He found
This
the
broke the box.
how smart.
The release button.
What's going on, Tristan?
Take a
You
break.
fixed it?
Well, I don't know because I never had that.
You're right, you're right, it's blue. See it? Yeah.
All right, Chris, what do we do here? Close the door.
Hey, Mom and
Not the back button.
Mom and Tristan, look
It's
here.
in neutral.
It is the
Here's
back
like
button.
it.
You did the student lights. That's why you did it. Whenever you activate those student lights, it'll
Let go.
There you go.
There you go. Because either the door was open or something like that. And if you're going to be off tomorrow and we need a substitute, everybody has to leave their keys in the pouch. So I'm going to put the keys.
In the pouch. Now I'm going to activate the emergency release for the door.
Absolutely.
That releases the air pressure.
This one.
And we just keep pushing.
Can I pull it around? Thank you. I haven't drove it through.
We're getting ready to...
We got a
Okay, good.
You should have made her run the course if she hasn't done it in 2 years, too.
No.
What's
Go
that
right ahead.
part, baby?
I'm good.
This is the YouTube channel I was talking about. It's CDC 924. Okay? This is the channel of the school buses. And he currently has 152 subscribers. Yeah. So this is all his videos that he has right now. These are all taking place in Virginia Beach. So go on ahead and check out his channel. All right, let me go and show you the news thing. So let's react to some comments in the best way of shape or form of the Facebook post. Dang it. So then my aunt said, "Yay, Tristan, Uncle Ed, Aunt Tracy, and Andrew Nick are proud of you. Woohoo! 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 Time to get my strawberries on." Okay, well, let's move along. Okay, then some other people are saying that's awesome, and then Mary, which is one of my mom's friend's mom, who's right here, she said, "Wow, Tristan, that looked a lot of fun." And then they said, "Wow, Tristan, you got to sit in the driver's seat," which I was there with you to see. It looked like a lot of fun. And then, "Cool, when do you get those pair of socks?" They said, "You get the socks after 30 years. He smiled all day long. I couldn't find the news article because for some reason I guess they deleted their website or whatever. I don't know what happened to it, but yes. So here we are on Roblox. So we're gonna go and jump right into it. What do you guys think we should do? Let's see what we have available. And yes, by the way, this is going to go up on Friday simply because of, or maybe we should do it. No, maybe we should do it a live event. Yes, this is going to go up on Saturday. Okay. So the other one we'll put up on Friday. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of choices to choose from. I mean, we can try to choose the California one. And by the way, I'm sorry I'm losing my voice. I'm only going to play for like 15 minutes at that. But this was not what I was intending to happen with this. Not be able to find the article and all this other stuff. That's probably the leakers game that people seem to complain about. Alright. Well, that didn't work out. Let's see about this. Let's see. Oh, someone else is going for it. Alright, this ain't what I was planning on doing. Alright, let's get on the bus.
Warning, check for unauthorized entry.
Dropping time. See, I don't know what those big spheres are. That was in the other game. So I don't know what they are. Whoa. Who is behind me? Because I hear somebody behind me. And there is somebody behind me. What is going on? Oop. Ah.
can't get back in the seat now. What is going on?
Warning, check for unauthorized entry.
You're gonna have to move so I can go. See? That's what you want to do. You want somebody to move, you just do that. Just annoying. Oh, we went the wrong way again.
Warning, check for unauthorized entry.
Dude, seriously. outside the bus now. How did that happen? Oh well. See, that's what should have happened, but he didn't do that. Let me see if I can try to move this thing. Let's try something else real quick. Let me reset my character real quick. We'll try that, then I gotta edit. Let's add the bluebird. Let's get something else. See, it won't let me despawn it, so I guess I'm gonna get banned. That's another bluebird. We need something else, like... That's another bluebird. What the heck is this? This is a Thomas. It's another Thomas.